This is 620 North Robinson Street in Los Angeles in the Silver Lake District. I lived here from 1959 to 1965. They tore down the house in about 65 or 66, and a moving company bought it, and it was space for moving vans. Finally, with Silver Lake being an expensive neighborhood, they're doing what was inevitable and putting up high-density housing. But it looks like the neighborhood is changing character. This was my playground when I was a kid. From ages, I'd say about 3 to, how old was I? 8 years old when we moved to Burbank. But right about where I'm standing was the front door to my house. These trees were here, and that embankment across the street, that used to be covered with ivy, and I used to play in that. That building is new. What is not new, however, what was here when I lived here, and you could see a little bit more of the moving van parking lot through the chain link fence. What is old is this apartment structure. I used to play with kids who lived here. 2 little girls, Karen and Rhonda, one of whom died. There's footage of my mom took of all of us in our Halloween costumes. 2 of the girls lived in this apartment. And this is what used to be the parking lot of the moving van company, which was over there. You see they're using that as construction swing space. This, more or less, was our backyard. Right up around there where that building stands now. It's interesting how things change. So, this building used to be a Thrifty Mart grocery store, and in 1965 they had a fire, and everybody in the neighborhood came over and looted the grocery store. We had canned goods for a long time. There used to be an alleyway there. This used to be a Van Lines moving company. Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen the inside. My mom used to shop for groceries here when I was a little boy. Here's the front of the building. It says Phil's, but it was a Thrifty Mart. Back in the early 60s, late 50s. This is the corner of Bellevue and Silver Lake Boulevard, Dillon Street. One time when I was a little boy, I went into that automotive service. There was a gas station there, and a guy caught me and threatened to call the cops and all this, and scared me. Brand new housing. And there used to be a house here where my friend Rocky Arnone lived. They tore the house down a couple of weeks ago. They're going to be building more high-density housing. Here's another view of that structure they're putting up where the 620 Robinson Street, where my house was. I say my house, we rented it. It was belonged to a Filipino guy up the street on Robinson. And I remember that liquor store, Micron liquor store, when it first opened in 64, 65.
that camera looks really new.
And this is a little store that served the neighborhood back in the early 60s. It's always been a store. Neighborhood market. Those are gone with the dodo birds. Small enough to know you, big enough to serve you. Family Mart. Last time I was here, I got myself a Mexican Coke. And then there's Bellevue.